Hello, dear students. Welcome to this video e-learning program as produced by Rwanda Polytechnic. My name is Rwanda Mark. I'm a trainer in Masonry. Dear students, today we are going to learn together about perform or plastering. Within these modules, we have to talk about what is plastering, what are the main objectives of plastering, material, tools, and equipment used in wall plastering. Then finally, we talk about the techniques related or the techniques applied in wall plastering. So, what is a wall plastering? Wall plastering, it is a crucial part normally in a building construction that we define it as a process of covering a rough surface of a building component like a wall, column, and a slab with a thin coat of mortar in order to form a uniform and durable surface. This is the clear definition of plastering. So, why do we need a plaster? What's the importance of plastering? Normally, when we elevate the wall, there is some defective area which may remain during elevation of the wall. Those defective areas should be covered properly with that thin coat of plaster. This is the first reason. The second reason, we need to protect the external surface of brick masonry wall from rainwater penetration and the other atmospheric agents. So then we can provide a plaster in order to provide a uniform surface or durable surface which may become a base of the paint. Those are the main objectives of wall plastering. So normally, in wall plastering, we need different types of material in order to perform that task. One of material used in wall plastering, we have a sand. This is what we call sand. Okay, this is a sand. This is another sand. Okay, so here we have two kinds of sand. There is a coarse sand, which is this. This is a coarse sand. Then here we have a fine sand. Okay? So because our plaster has to be done in 3 coats, okay? The 2 consecutive coats must be used this coarse sand, okay? But finally, when we start to finish our wall with the finishing coat, we are using this fine sand. That is why here we have 2 kinds of sand, okay? So here we have another types of material, normally called a cement. This is a Portland, ordinary Portland cement. Okay? This cement will be used with a mortar, I mean water. Okay? So here we have a water. Okay? So when those material, sand, cement, and water are mixed together in the correct proportion, they form a paste. Okay? Which means a cement will act as a glue which combine together those grains of the sand, okay, by contribution of water. Okay? So, dear students, here we have a different part of the wall that are going to plaster. The first coat of plaster will be applied here. Okay? The second coat of plaster will be applied here. Then the last coat, which is the finishing coat, will be applied here. Okay, you understand that? The coat to be applied has to be applied in 3 sequences. Okay, 3 coats. Okay? The first coat of plaster is normally what we call rendering coat. Okay? So this coat is applied in the thickness of 5 mm or 5 millimeter. Okay? The second coat, which is called floating coat, okay, or undercoat, will be applied in the thickness of 10 millimeter, okay? Then the last coat, which is finishing coat, will be applied in 5 millimeter, okay? So, dear student, before to perform any practical task like this, or plastering, it is better to identify the quantity of material required for each coat, okay? Estimate the quantity of sand, cement, and water. Okay? So those are the different types of material that we're going to use. Okay? Let's start from the first coat of plaster that we're going to apply. The first coat of plaster. Okay? So here we have the measurements. We have the length of 1 meter, 27 centimeter against 283 centimeter. Okay? So as we have said, the thickness of plaster for this first coat is equal to 5 millimeter, okay? But the mix ratio for this coat of plaster is 1 mix ratio is 1 to 4. Means 1 part of cement and the 4 part of sand. Okay? That coarse sand. Okay? Then the size or the area of the wall is equal to 1.27 meter times 0.83 meter. Then we get 1.054 square meter. Okay? So then we determine the quantity of material required for 1 square meter. Quantity of material per 1 square meter. Okay? This will be equal to 1 meter times 1 meter times the thickness of plaster, which is equal to 0.005 meter. Okay? This will give us 0.005 cubic meter. Remember that the total area of this surface to be plastered is equal to 1.054 square meter. The quantity of material required for the whole surface, quantity of material required for whole surface whole surface will be equal to 1.054 square meter times the volume of for 1 square meter times 0.005. Volume of weight material, then volume of dry material. This will be equal to 0, the volume of weight material, which is equal to 0.053 square meter, cubic meter, times the coefficient of bulking, which is equal to 1.54. This gives us the volume of 0.0082 cubic meter. So after finding the volume of dry material, we have to determine the quantity or volume of cement. This will be equal to the ratio of cement, which is equal to 1. The ratio of cement over the sum of mix ratio, which is equal to 5, sum of mix ratio, which is equal to 5. Sum of mix ratio is equal to 1 plus 4. Okay, this gives 5. Okay, then multiply by the volume of dry material. Volume of dry material. This is the common formula used when determining the volume of cement. So this will give us 1 over the sum over 5 times the volume of dry material, which is equal to 0.0082 cubic meter. So the volume of cement is equal to 0.00165. Okay? Then the volume of sand will be equal to what? Will be equal to, we have to apply this formula, okay? The ratio of sand over the sum of mix ratio times the volume of dry material. Here the ratio of sand is equal to 4. 4 over the sum of mix ratio times the volume of dry material, which is equal to 0.082 cubic meter. This will be equal to 0.0066 cubic meter. Okay? So after finding the volume of cement and the volume of sand for the first coat of plaster, okay, the formula used to determine other material for the second coat and the last coat is the same. That is why okay, we have to see here the quantity of material For the second coat, the cement, the volume of cement will be equal to 0.05 cubic meter, and then the volume of sand will be equal to 0.025 cubic meter. Okay? Then, for the last coat or finishing coat, the volume of cement will be equal to 0.022 cubic meter, and the volume of sand will be equal to 0.0127 cubic meter. Okay. So, dear students, when you just finish, to be aware with the quantity of material required, the next step is to prepare our wall surface. So, but before preparing the wall surface, there are some tools and equipment used when you are performing the wall plastering. Okay? So one of the tools, here we have a spirit level. Okay? This is just used for determining or checking the horizontal level and the vertical level. Here we have a wooden float. This is just used for floating in order to ensure the levelness of the area. Here we have a spade. This is just used for mixing or for loading and unloading the material. Here we have a thrower. This is just used for applying a mortar over the surface. Then here we have a claw hammer. This is just used for fixing the nails or removing the nails. Here we have a sponge. Okay? It is just used for smoothing the area where we need a straight, smooth surface. Then we have a steel float. This is just used for smoothing the plastered area. Then we have a plumb bob. This is just used for checking the verticality. Then you have a string or a building line. This is used for set out the dots on the same line. We have a buttress with perforated cover. This is just used for sprinkling the water when we are finishing the plaster. Then we have those small pieces of timber are what you call dots. Those are normally used to determine the required thickness of plaster. Here we have a mortar pan. This is just used for transporting the material from one point to another point. We have a broom. This is a broom. It is just used for cleaning the surface. Here we have a bucket. This is just used for transporting water. Okay? Then we have a straight edge. This is what you call a straight edge. It is just normally used for leveling the plaster. Here we have a box made from the wood. Okay, it is normally called the wooden box. Okay, so this is just used for measuring the mortar ingredients. Okay. Here we have the wooden strip, okay? So those are used to fix the thickness required for the finishing coat. We have a wheelbarrow, okay? This is normally used for transporting the material.